SuperTalk Mississippi media production. It's time to talk about dogs.
Bulldogs have won it.
Talkin Dawgs, that is, with Robbie Faulk, right here on SuperTalk 100.9.
Talkin Dawgs is on your radio. That's right, folks. Here we are. We made it through 1 week. Somehow, some way, they allowed me to get back on this microphone for another week, and I'm thankful for it. This is Robbie Faulk here with you on SuperTalk 100.9 in the Golden Triangle area, and I thank each and every one of you for tuning in for week number 2 of Talkin Dawgs here on SuperTalk. I thought we had a great first week. Got some great feedback. I appreciate everybody for spreading the word, for listening, for getting through. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty. I don't know if you guys know this, but a couple of weeks ago, the station, which is located on Stark Road in Starkville, and we have a great station over there filled with a great crew of people. I want to give a shout-out to my guy Sebastian back at the station that's putting this show together, and he's the one that has to troubleshoot a lot of this stuff. And the first 10 seconds, or first 2 minutes or so, I think, of the show last week was completely wiped out. I don't have a clue what happened, but a giant thank you to Sebastian, to everyone at SuperTalk for getting the show in the air in full and allowing you guys to listen to that first show. We got through it without any issues, and I'm expecting no issues today as well. I have faith. If you are listening to the show on the radio, I appreciate it. If you're wondering if there's other places that you can listen to this, there absolutely is. We have you covered on pretty much any kind of avenue that you want to listen to the show. If you're not in the Golden Triangle area, then you've already discovered this show somewhere else. So this might not apply to you. But for those that are wondering, we have the show running live 9 to 10 a.m. every single Wednesday, and you can listen to it, of course, on your radio in the Golden Triangle area. Or you can listen to it live on the SuperTalk app. You can listen to it live on the webpage. Just find the 100.9 section of the webpage, and you can listen to this every single week live, either on your desktop or on your phone or wherever, iPad, whatever you want to do. You can listen to it there. We also have, we'll have a YouTube channel, I believe, on the SuperTalk. It'll be just on the SuperTalk channel. You should be able to listen to that on SuperTalk on their YouTube page. And you can also go to our podcast feed. Anywhere you get podcasts, you will be able to listen to the show. So we have you covered anyway, anyhow, wherever, whenever. You can listen to the show on demand. You can listen to it live. Wherever you're listening, I want to thank you. I genuinely thank you for tuning in and listening to me talk for an hour here, basically to myself. We're going to bring you some really exciting things over the course of this first year on this show. We're just getting started. We don't really know exactly what we're going to do over time, but I expect a lot of exciting things. We're going to bring you some great interviews. We're going to bring you some clips here in this show alone where you'll get a chance to hear from Jeff Lebby just like we did last year. We're also going to hear later in this show from a Starkville legend, Stonka Burnside. A lot of people have not heard from Stonka since he started his career at Mississippi State. We're going to bring you the first opportunity that the media was able to talk to him in Mississippi State training camp, get a little bit of his thoughts from his time now moving over to another side of the ball. Some really interesting thoughts from Stonka, and we will bring that to you here shortly. I'm really excited about the show today. We got some high school football talk to bring to you, and we'll be bringing you high school football information every single week on the show. A little bit different show than what you might get somewhere else. While it's Talkin Dawgs, while we're going to talk a lot about Mississippi State sports, we're going to have plenty of high school sports talk on the show because I love high school football. I love high school sports in general, and I'm going to bring it to you every single week. At least one segment a week you're going to get of pure high school sports talk. So I hope you guys stay tuned and you're able to kind of stick in here with me for the rest of the show. Once again, thank you all for tuning in. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will hear from Jeff Lebby and get his thoughts on the second scrimmage of the training camp for Mississippi State. They're just over a week away from game one. Can't believe it. It's already here. We're under 10 days remaining until kickoff. and I cannot wait for it. Jeff Lebby coming your way after this break. This is Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk here on SuperTalk 100.9.
At Bank Oklahoma, we treat our customers like neighbors, and usually they are. You're more than just an account number. At Bank Oklahoma, you have a name, a family, and hopes and dreams for your financial future. I'm Hunter Robertson at Bank Oklahoma in Bruce. We'd love to earn your business and help you reach your financial goals. Come see me or call 662-983-3700. Bank Oklahoma, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Good Hope Land and Timber is a full-service land and timber company that offers years of experience in forestry and land management. Our services include timber and land purchasing, timber management, pine plantation thinning, and development harvesting. Our company has an experienced logging force that is trained according to the Sustainable Forestry Initiative and best management practices. Call me, Jake Moody, at 601-416-6266 or visit our website at g-hope.com for all your timber harvesting and land management needs.
For more than 80 years, Fort County Electric Power Association has been providing reliable, affordable electricity to our members. We've done it with honesty, integrity, and with a special emphasis on service, and it shows. Fort County members overwhelmingly say that our electric cooperative is a name they can always trust, and that trust isn't something you can buy. It has to be earned each and every day. We're proud of the men and women of Fort County who work hard to earn our members' trust, and we're proud to serve our member owners.
Hey, this is William Wells. When you drop your vehicle off with us, you can trust us with our ASC certified technician. We'll take care of everything you need. Brakes, struts, shocks, alignments, check engine light, tune-up, tire sensor, tires, everything. Stop by any of our 3 locations in Starkville, West Point, and Columbus, and let our team give you the championship service you deserve.
Hello, I'm Lee Burrell, proudly serving Tillamook County. The Citizens Bank has been serving our community for over 116 years, and I'm proud to be part of this vital community bank. With over 22 years of financial experience in commercial, mortgage, and consumer lending, I'm here to help with all your loan and deposit needs. Call me at 662-323-1420 or stop by my office located at 201 Highway 12 and say hello. I'm looking forward to meeting and talking with you soon. The Citizens Bank, www.thecitizensvilla.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to Talkin Dawgs on SuperTalk 100.9.
Talkin Dawgs is back here on SuperTalk 100.9 in the Golden Triangle area. Robbie Faulk along with you for the rest of this hour. Excited to have you along with you. My goodness, is it hot out there in Mississippi right now, and hopefully we're going to get a reprieve. It would be nice to get that reprieve next week down in Hattiesburg. Something tells me we might not, but we'll see what happens. As you guys know, this show is brought to you by Alpha Insurance, Jess Brantley. Every single week, Jess is going to be with us sponsoring the show. I can't tell you how excited I am to have Jess on board with us. Jess is a personal friend, but I can totally vouch for the job that he does and the job that Alpha Insurance does. And Alpha Insurance, to me, what makes them so special is not just the fact that they can save you a boatload of money, because they absolutely can. And I said it last week, when I was looking for homeowners insurance, I had another insurance company, and I put that insurance company up against Alpha and 2 other insurance companies. I was really trying to save pennies the best that I could, but I knew I wanted to get someone close by that I knew, and that I knew that whenever I had something happen to my house, or if I hit a deer like I did last year, that person was going to pick up the phone and was going to help me get that fixed. And that's what Jess can do for you. So not only will they beat the competition, they will give you the best customer service around. You can call Jess at 662-494-4142, or you can go visit them over in West Point, just right down the road. For some of you guys in West Point, just go down the street over on South Forest Street, 32 South Forest Street. You can call Alpha today, call Jess specifically, and start saving. All right, so we're going to take a quick glimpse into what's going on in Mississippi State's training camp. We heard from Jeff Lebby after the first training camp scrimmage last week, and there's not a ton of difference in what he said this week and last week. I'm not discouraging not to listen to this interview, but a lot of the same things that he said last week about the defense standing out, that still applies this week. Very interesting thoughts coming your way. I want you to hear from Jeff Lebby, but what the most interesting thing that I really took away from it is this team is now running 20, 25-plus more plays than they did last season due to the depth that they've created, and that's a big deal. So let's hear from Jeff Lebby and hear his thoughts on the second scrimmage of Mississippi State's training camp.
Coach, what changes for you guys from scrimmage 1 to scrimmage 2? I mean, is the play calling different? Or are you expecting more from them as camp kind of ramps up?
Yeah, I mean, the installs have continued to build as we've moved through camp, right? So the call sheet today was different, both sides of the ball, than it was last week. And so I think that's natural. Again, for our guys, we're trying to create some stress for them, make it as hard as we can right now in the moment so that when we get to game plan, they're able to dial into that, and it streamlines it, and it makes it easier.
You know, when we started this camp, I asked you about retention. I would imagine at this point it's more about progression. Do you see the progression from week 1 to week 2 that you're wanting to see?
Yeah, you do with a bunch of the guys. Sitting in the chair that I'm sitting in, you want more. You constantly want more. That's not ever going to change. And so the stress is regardless of who's out there, whether it's the ones, the twos, the threes, whoever it is, the stress is, being able to execute. And so there's been this great amount of growth for a bunch of guys, and there's a bunch of guys that got to get a heck of a lot better. And so that's where the strain is. I think that's part of coaching. That's part of leading and trying to find ways to get the most out of them every single day and get these guys where they need to be.
Before watching the film and breaking all that down, what caught your attention today? What stood out?
Yeah, I think, again, defensively we had great energy, made some huge plays in some short yardage situations where we were able to get off the field defensively to end a couple of drives early in the scrimmage, and that created real momentum, which, again, I thought was great to see. So I thought the energy, the toughness, the attitude, and the edge, we're getting close to where we want to be from that standpoint. We got to continue to play cleaner and play better and create depth. But the mentality and the edge right now, I'm proud of where our guys are defensively.
There's been a lot of talk about the depth that you've added on the defensive line, but you added a lot of experience in terms of snaps on the back end as well with the safeties. Are you seeing kind of complementary skill sets there as you're evaluating who's going to play what role?
Yeah, absolutely. A guy like J-Man who's come in and he's played a bunch of ball. He's been very productive. He's going to have a great year for us, and excited about who he is and where he's at right now as he's fitting into it.
You know, between the portal and some of your freshmen, a couple of JUCO guys, you had a bunch of people who weren't here for the spring. Do you feel like those guys are about as up to speed as they can be at this point?
Yeah, it's a race, man. Like those guys that have now practiced with us 13 times, they've got to get every rep, they've got to get every walk, they got to get every minute of every day to be ready to roll and play the way we need to go play on August 30th. And so there's the process for those guys has been sped up. But again, we got a bunch of new offensive linemen that we've got to come together as a unit there. I think physically we have the bodies. We've got to continue to come together inside that room to go be able to play 7-8 guys and play winning football.
Coaching the portal wide receiver always appears to be a priority to you. You took some guys that have a ton of potential but not a lot of college-level production, guys like Ant, of course, and Brennan. How have they performed so far, and what are your expectations for them?
Yeah, my expectations for both those guys are to be not good players but great players for us. Again, I love their skill set. I love how they've attacked every day. They've practiced every day. They've taken care of themselves. They've had really good production. So excited about both those guys.
2 weeks until the opening game now. At what point do you start moving from the installation, the cleaning up installation, to it's time to finalize things and then start working towards the first opponent and, for that matter, the first month of the season?
Yeah, tomorrow will really be a day as we're in the office to dial in on depth charts and from a special team standpoint, hey, these are the guys that are going to be on the bus. This is exactly where we're going to end up. And there's going to be great competition as we move through next week, but there'll be a lot of scout work next week as we get ready for the first few opponents, and that'll be important, for our guys to be able to, again, have this great amount of growth and get ready to go while some of our guys' roles are going to be changing. And so that was something we talked about, after the scrimmage just a minute ago. And some guys got to make sure we're buying into their role as we get ready to go change the format of practice, how we do what we do.
Anybody on offense kind of catch your attention today, and how was Blake
Yeah, I mean, Vaughn and Fluff, Colin did some good things. Johnny did some good things. I thought all four of those backs really had a pretty solid day and were productive. Blake was solid, took care of the football, and that was good to see. I thought he, from a decision-making standpoint, was in a really good spot. And then the other two guys, with Luke and Camario, both those guys had solid days. And again, it's all about the ball, man, taking care of the rock, and those guys did that today. We had one fumble on an exchange that was an issue, and outside of that, we were much cleaner there, which we needed to be.
I asked you last week if any guys on both sides of the line had started to separate themselves, and you said let you get through another scrimmage and 2 weeks of camp, and you might name some names. Or are there a couple guys that have kind of separated themselves over there? Yeah,
I think on the D-line, when you think about it, whether it's Will Whitson, new guys, right, and Will Whitson and Jure, Jamil, as those new guys have gotten in, they've done a really nice job for us. And you think about Deontay and Bam Bam and Dink and B-Jen and Malik Silla. Malik's the only new one of those guys that I just named, but again, guys that I feel like can go play winning football for us. So, man, at that position, you got to play multiple guys. And I think that's, again, I've said it, that's probably what I'm most excited about, is feeling as if we've got a chance to have maybe 9-10 guys to go play winning football with. And that's where there's been this great amount of growth. And again, we're not anywhere close to where we need to be, but that's going to give us a chance.
Coach, kind of back to the roster composition as you move forward. Every young player comes in here thinking they're going to start and win the Heisman. When you begin to transition from competition role to kind of scout team role, how do you communicate that to the player to continue to get the buy-in from them you need?
Yeah, through conversation and meeting with those guys. And, again, it's coming from me every single day, man. Everybody on our football team inside that locker room, inside our building, has a role. Buy into that role, embrace the role, and become the best version of yourself you can possibly be. And to me, that's life, and that's the real world. And so if I can get guys to buy into just doing that every day, one, they're going to practice the way we need them to practice. They're going to have great energy and appreciation for their opportunity. And so we're stressing that nonstop, but it's through conversation and time.
Related to Steve's question, the first thing you said on signing day last December was you improved the team depth. You repeated that in spring. Can we fully appreciate how much practice has changed this preseason that you actually have depth to practice with and a viable scout team?
Yeah, I mean, again, today we were over 110 snaps, which was really, really good. I'm not certain, but I want to say last year's second scrimmage we were right around 80 to 85. And it was 1,000% because of bodies. And so, again, we're gonna go practice the way we need to practice just to give ourselves, a chance. And that's going to be big for us.
Jordan and Blake both told us Thursday that how disappointed they were about how the offense looked in that first scrimmage. Did you see from the veterans how they really took ownership of that and wanted to make it better this time?
Yeah, I think with our guys offensively, there's incredible accountability, and there's been leadership in that room, and now it's a game of doing. It always will be, and that's going to be forever the thing for us. Game of execution, game of doing, and our guys feel that they understand that, and that's something that they've continued to preach and will continue to preach as we get closer.
All right, big thanks to Jeff Lebby for talking to the media and giving his thoughts. I'm going to give you my thoughts on what he had to say after the break. And plus, we're going to hear from Stonka Burnside. You guys stay tuned. This is Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk here on SuperTalk 100.9.
When you're a Yellow Jacket, school spirit isn't just for game day, it's every day. That's why the Citizens Bank created the School Stash debit card for Starkville schools. With every transaction, select credit instead of debit, and we'll donate 5 cents to the district. It's an easy way to show your pride and support local schools with every purchase. Stop by 201 Highway 12 and get your School Stash debit card today. The Citizens Bank, in your corner every day. Member FDIC.
A lot of land comes with a lot of work. The new Kubota MX Series has a lot to offer, including the versatility to mow, move hay bales, grade roads, and clear brush and snow. An optional spacious cab to keep you comfortable in any conditions. A front-end loader with excellent loader lift capacity and transmission options. Visit your local Kubota dealer today.
Visit H&R AgriPower, your local Kubota dealer at 841 South Frontage Road in Columbus. H&R AgriPower has the power to get you more.
At Fort County Electric Power Association, we're always trying to find ways to make life better for our member owners. From offering expert advice on how to use less power and save money, to on-bill financing for energy efficiency improvements in HVAC, to showing the benefits and practical uses of our new all-electric vehicle, we work to earn our members' trust through honesty, integrity, and service. Fort County Electric Power, improving the lives of all we touch.
Looking to get the most out of your land? Trust the experts at Good Hope Land and Timber, your full-service land and timber company with years of experience in forestry and land management. From land and timber purchasing, timber management, plantation thinning, and development harvesting, our team handles it all, safely, efficiently, and sustainably. Our experienced logging force is trained to the highest standards under the Sustainable Forestry Initiative and best management practices. Call me, Jake Moody, at 601-416-6266. Good Hope Land and Timber, locally trusted, landowner approved.
Find a friend in the banking business at Bank Oklahoma and take that friend with you using Bank Oklahoma mobile banking. Manage your accounts, make deposits, payments, and transfers anywhere and anytime. Bank Oklahoma offers small town feel with big city convenience and the personalized attention you deserve. I'm Joy Faulkner at Bank Oklahoma. Better together, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Talkin Dawgs on SuperTalk 100.9.
Welcome back to Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk. I am Robbie Faulk, and I appreciate you guys for sticking with me for show number 2. Every single Wednesday, we will be here live 9 to 10 a.m. You can listen to us on 100.9 here in the Golden Triangle, or you can listen online. You can listen on the SuperTalk app, or you can find us anywhere you get podcasts. Just type in Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk, and it'll be right there. And I want to remind you guys, too, I'm sure a lot of you that listen to the show already know, but we have another podcast, Thunder and Lightning. And if you haven't heard that podcast, have you been living under a rock? What's going on? Go check us out, too. Myself, Brian Haydad, we both have shows consequently, in the same exact day. I start at 9 a.m. He starts his show at 6 p.m. You can listen to us pretty much all day because Brian's also on 3 to 6 p.m. on Sports Talk Mississippi. Go check out that podcast if you don't already. That happens 5 days a week, Brian and myself breaking down all things Mississippi State. And even once a week we have a Rumblings episode where we might go off the grid. We take questions from fans. We might talk about anything in that one. So go check that out. I promise you won't be disappointed. Either you'll be mad, sad, angry, happy. I don't know. You'll have some kind of emotion listening to that, I promise. So go check us out, Thunder and Lightning, over there, wherever you get podcasts. All right, we heard from Jeff Lebby last segment, and I like what we're hearing from Jeff Lebby this year opposed to last year. I don't think that Lebby is ever going to be, super rah-rah, and I don't think he's ever going to point out all the negatives on his team either. But I don't think we're getting as much coach speak from him this year as we did last year. There were kind of some concerning things we heard last year, just a lot of positivity stuff, and I like positivity. But I think that there's a lot of more genuine conversation coming from Jeff Lebby in year 2. I think he's genuinely excited about the defense and the progress that they've made there. And through 2 scrimmages now, the defense has been far and away, to him, the standout. And you talk to the players over the last couple of weeks, and they're kind of echoing the same thing. The offense is not very happy with the fact the defense is winning those. The defense has kind of a quiet confidence to it. I like it. I said last week on our podcast, I think that I would rather the defense right now be ahead of the offense. I need to see the defense getting some wins against this offense because I think the offense, while it might not be where Jeff Lebby wants it to be this year, and it certainly wasn't last year, I think that it's going to be productive. I think they're going to score points. I think they're going to have a really good rushing attack. I think that Blake Shapen is probably going to be a really solid quarterback. I agree with what Jeff Lebby says. He calls him solid. I don't think his ceiling is as high as a quarterback can get in Jeff Lebby's offense, but I don't think he's going to lose you games, and I don't think he's going to make a ton of mistakes. So I think for what you need this year, I think Blake Shapen should be pretty good, and he needs to stay healthy. Because I think at the end of the day, this offense is going to be really built around the rushing attack. You have one of your best running back rooms that you've ever had in terms of depth, and the talent is up there too. There's been more talent in that room. I don't know if they've ever had like 5 running backs that I think if they put them in the ball game, they could make a big play, or they could get a big first down, or they could score inside the red zone. They can all do something well. So I think that the rushing attack is going to be what this team's built around. And I think the offensive line is going to become more cohesive. They might have their lumps early on. So what I'm saying is I think the offense is going to be solid for Mississippi State this year. You need this defense to take a mega jump. I think they're going to be better. They need to continue to do what they're doing in this training camp, and that's winning battles, forcing turnovers, creating chaos. That's what they've done so far. I loved hearing about the defensive line and the pieces that are starting to come together there. The transfer portal guys, you went heavy in the portal for a reason. Continuing to hear names like Will Whitson, Jeri Bledsoe, Malik Silla, who's a jack, but is a guy that is typically going to play more like a defensive lineman, just standing up most of the time. You're hearing about these names, Jamil Burrows. You're hearing Calvin Dinkins' name from Jeff Lebby, a guy that was injured a lot last year, in the last 2 years. There's 9 to 10 guys, he says, on the defensive line, the defensive front, getting after the quarterback that he feels good about. There were not 9 to 10 guys on the defense last year that Mississippi State felt good about. So that's a major change, and I really love hearing that. So we'll see if they're able to continue it. I love hearing about the defensive backfield. Jerron Manning has been garnering a lot of buzz. Jet Jefferson in recent weeks, a guy that came from Mississippi private schools, and he goes to East Central Community College and just kind of starts to become a really solid player. Hearing that he's pushing for CB1 with Kelly Jones, that's exciting. That's really good news because Mississippi State has a lot of question marks there too. So hearing that's really good. Another guy that we're about to hear from is Stonka Burnside, who's one of the more interesting players in this class, or in this defense. This is a guy that was brought into Mississippi State as a 4-star wide receiver, was a hotly recruited player at a Starkville High School. He comes to Mississippi State. He doesn't get much playing time last year at wide receiver. They put him in at special teams, and he's making play after play on the punt team. He's the first guy down the field. He's making those plays, and it really excited the fan base. So I was really interested to hear what he had to say about that move, and there's some things that might surprise you. You think about a wide receiver, and you might think a little bit of an ego, but he's a guy that just wants to get on the field. He just wants to play, and he's totally bought into safety. Let's hear what he had to say about that.
It's a whole lot different just switching from offense to defense, learning how to play safety in college. So it's been a little different, but I'm learning it each and every day. Older guys above me, such as Brilo Hunt and Jerron, man, I'm learning from them every day, and I'm getting better with my craft also.
Coach Bob said he was going to try to win you back over to offense. I mean, how's that going?
Not very good. Not very good because, like I said, switching from defense from offense, I think it was a great move for me. I get to use my best ability to be a great player. So,
what areas you think you've progressed since you made that move last spring, this past spring?
Just learning defense in general. Learning how to play faster, like from last year. Offense and defense is a whole lot faster on defense than learning a lot of plays, and just learn how to play fast on defense when you just hear and go.
Which safety spot they got you working in?
As our defense, we play boundary or free, so it don't really matter. We can switch either or.
We kind of got going with the special teams play, going down, kind of making some big hits. Fans got excited about that. Is that when you were kind of open to making the move after you made some big plays on special teams?
No, sir. Just playing special teams, just quick rate, just get on the field, just to show and let the college know that I'm a good player also, and just whenever the time comes, it'll come.
At the same thing, you showed a knack for it last year that a lot of players just don't have. What is it about that kind of broken down play that you have a nose for the ball?
Just play fast. See ball, go get ball. That's all I have in my mind. When I have that angle, I have that. When I see somebody with the ball, I got to, in my mind, I have to go hit them. So, yes, sir.
Who's some guys that have caught your attention in camp back in the secondary?
Like I said, Jerron Manning, he's a guy that we depend on. Isaac, of course, everybody loves Isaac. And Bralo Lanier, yeah.
Steve was talking about, you're on defense, but I've watched some drills where when they have just one defensive back working with all the receivers, it's you. You're over there guarding all the receivers. Do you enjoy that, kind of compare yourself with your old teammates?
Yes, sir, I do. I always want to make sure everybody gets better, and I always want my teammates to make sure I get better also. So just being a team player.
But then they let you run a route and catch pass too.
Yes, sir.
Is that a reward?
It's just to feel a little receiver here and there. Yes, sir.
You being a former receiver, playing gunner, might open some possibilities for some trickeration on special teams. Is that something you kind of are excited about too?
We're going to let Coach Odom, if Coach Odom want to decide he want to do a trick play with 5, then I'm all open for it.
Watching the special teams drills, y'all really work on trying to block a punt or block a field goal. Is that something that coaches are emphasizing this year?
Yes, sir. We always make sure we call it 1080, getting off the ball fast. Just make sure our fastest guy can go block the kick. That's what we're really aiming for right now.
All right, that was Stonka Burnside giving his thoughts on moving to safety. And I've been covering Stonka since he was in 9th grade. First time I ever saw him on the field. I'd heard a lot about him when he was in junior high. When you cover Starkville High School, some of the first things you hear about are these junior high players coming up. I remember hearing about a lot of these players, Trey Petty, Stonka, Rodriguez Clark, who ended up going to play running back for Southern Miss. A lot of these players, they start to garner buzz early. This was a kid that people were talking about in 7th grade, and he's starting for Starkville at safety when he's a sophomore or freshman. In his freshman year, he intercepted 3 passes. I think he had a pick 6. He ran a couple of punts back. He was a playmaker. Since he was in 9th grade, I always felt like Stonka Burnside had a higher ceiling at safety than he did at wide receiver. And so I think the coaches have seen that too. Coleman Hutzler told us earlier in training camp he felt like when he was recruiting Stonka Burnside, when I believe he was either at Alabama or at Ole Miss, one of the two, but he felt like his future was also on the defensive side of the ball. So it'll be interesting to see how Stonka really emerges over time. I think it's going to take him a little bit of time, but by the end of this thing, I see an NFL future for Stonka Burnside if he's locked in, if he's doing his job right there at safety and learning the way that he should. He has all the intangibles to do it. His natural instincts say that he could be a big-time playmaker there at safety, and I'm excited to see it all play out. Stonka's a great guy, great athlete. Like I said, I've been watching this kid since he was in 9th grade. I would love nothing more to see him out there making plays in the defensive backfield this year as a sophomore. So there's that. All right, appreciate Stonka for talking to the media, and I thought that was a good interview. All right, so we're going to take another break. When we come back, we got a great segment coming your way, talking all things high school sports, high school football specifically. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned. This is Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk on SuperTalk 100.9.
Bank Oklahoma is committed to the communities we serve. We offer the small town feel with big city convenience and give you the personalized attention you deserve. Come see me, Gene Childs, Community Bank President in Houston and Manatee. We have locations in Aberdeen, Bruce, Houston, Manatee, Oklahoma, and Tupelo. Bank Oklahoma, where we are better together. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Landowners, are you ready to turn your timber into real value? At Good Hope Land and Timber, we specialize in helping landowners like you make smart, sustainable decisions. Whether you're planting a final harvest, thinning a stand, development thinning, or managing your forest long-term, our experienced team is here to guide you every step of the way. We're trained in the Sustainable Forestry Initiative and follow best management practices to protect your land and maximize your return. Call me, Jake Moody, at 601-416-6266. Good Hope Land and Timber, locally trusted, landowner approved.
Hey, this is William Wells. When you drop your vehicle off with us, you can trust us with our ASC certified technician. We'll take care of everything you need. Brakes, struts, shocks, alignments, check engine light, tune-up, tire sensor, tires, everything. Stop by any of our 3 locations in Starkville, West Point, and Columbus, and let our team give you the championship service you deserve.
Looking for a no-nonsense tractor with reliable power that's easy to use? Then check out Case IH Farm All Utility A-Series tractors at H&R AgriPower in Columbus. These efficient, all-around chore tractors offer performance features that meet the demands of your task without exceeding your budget. Case IH Farm All Utility A-Series tractors deliver all the pulling power and hydraulics you need for loading, blading, tilling, mowing, baling, and more. To learn more about Case IH Farm All Utility A-Series tractors, visit H&R AgriPower, your local Case IH dealer at 841 South Frontage Road in Columbus. H&R AgriPower has the power to get you more.
Hello, I'm Lebby, proudly serving Oktibbeha County. The Citizens Bank has been serving our community for over 116 years, and I'm proud to be part of this vital community bank. With over 22 years of financial experience in commercial, mortgage, and consumer lending, I'm here to help with all your loan and deposit needs. Call me at 662-323-1420 or stop by my office located at 201 Highway 12 and say hello. I'm looking forward to meeting and talking with you soon. The Citizens Bank, www.thecitizensvilla.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk on SuperTalk 100.9.
Welcome back to Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk here on SuperTalk 100.9. As always, we are sponsored by Alpha Insurance, Jess Brantley over in West Point. Whether it is homeowners insurance, car insurance, you want to put your boat up for insurance, life insurance policy, Jess has you handled. His team over there doing an incredible job. I cannot speak highly enough about Alpha Insurance and the job that they do protecting us. They make sure that when disaster strikes, they are the first person there to take care of you. And it's a scary thing. Your house gets struck by lightning. You know, I know people here in our area that have had their houses destroyed by fire. You know, people, it's about to get time where it starts to get cool and you start to see those deer moving. I hit a deer last year on Highway 25 coming back from a high school basketball game and just absolutely destroyed my front end on my F-150. You know, I text Alpha. I tell them that we have an issue here, and they get it done. I actually was driving around in the Alpha car for a little bit as well. They'll get you a car. They'll make sure you're taken care of. The claims are super easy. You got to go see Jess today and switch over to Alpha if you aren't already there. 662-494-4142 is where you can find him, or you can go over to his office and go meet him for yourself. 32 South 4th Street in West Point. Go see Alpha. Go see Jess today. All right, guys, let's talk some high school football. I'm going to, for now, this is kind of my Starkville Daily News area whip around. I don't have a clever title. I'm just going to go with that. As you know, on top of these other things that I do, I work for Maroon and White Daily at On3 Sports, which I'm absolutely loving, working over there and seeing the things that we're accomplishing as a network and as a website there. But I've been at Starkville Daily News for 10 years. This is kind of, you know, my first love is high school sports. I started broadcasting high school football when I was in 10th grade. I'm excited to do it again this year. I'm going to be doing some live stream with Jay Perry and Craig Reed and Steve Roberts, and we're just really excited about what we have going on over at Starkville High this year on that live stream. And so my first love is high school sports. I absolutely love it, and I'm excited for I don't even know what year this is, where I've been covering games basically every single Friday night all the way to the state championship. This year's state championships, as you know, will be right there in Starkville. It'll be at Davis Wade Stadium. There's a very good chance that you will see the West Point Green Wave there yet again. I've covered all their state championships here in the last decade, which has been just an unbelievable run that's seen them climb to the top of high school football in Mississippi. They now have the most state championships in Mississippi history. The job that Coach Chambliss did, which he has now gotten back in the game over in Alabama. Brett Morgan has picked right back up and, is doing some great things over there at West Point. We cover them. We cover Starkville. Starkville has a chance to get over there and play a state championship inside their own city for the first time ever. And this is a Starkville team that, 2 out of the last 3 years, this team's played for a state title. They won it 3 years ago. They played for another one against Oak Grove. I'm super intrigued to see what is going to happen with Starkville this year. They have a new head coach in John Carr, who I am a fan of. I first met Coach Carr talking to him right when he was taking the job at Starkville. And I admired the job that he did last year from afar, watching his team beat Brandon, who's a team that played for the South State Championship, watching his team beat Starkville. It was kind of Clinton's been kind of in a up and down spot. It's a place, it's one of the best schools in the state of Mississippi, I think, as far as the academics, and they have some great athletics too, but it's not always easy to win there with all the schools around the area. I know Jeb Boswell well, Louisville native. He did an incredible job there, brought them a state championship, but it's not a place that's always easy to win. It's never easy to win there. They won a state title with a generational player in Cam Akers, but when you look at the people that Clinton have to contend with every year, and you look at the district, Madison Central, last year they were in Tupelo's district with Starkville, Madison Central. Germantown has gotten better over the years. It's not easy. It's not easy at all living in Region 2 the way that these teams do. And you might come out of that. Starkville won the state championship 3 years ago as the 4 seed in that district, barely made the playoffs. They won the state title. It's going to be a gauntlet yet again. They start the season with Oak Grove next Friday. I'll be excited to be on the call with Jay Perry for that one if you guys want to pull up the live stream next Friday and watch that. It's going to be a really exciting ball game. Oak Grove's a team that year in and year out under Drew Causey, they are competing for a state title in the South. And they won it 2 seasons ago against Starkville. This is a rematch of that state championship. Super pumped to see what happens there. But John Carr is going to bring a fast-paced offense. It's going to be a team that scores a lot of points. They have a brand-new quarterback. Kingston Johnson's a sophomore transferring in out of Louisiana. Now, a lot of you don't know who that is because for a lot of reasons this has kind of been kept under wraps. I don't think that it's been blown up the way that it could be. But Kingston Johnson has a chance to be really, really, really special for Starkville. Dynamic athlete. He can really throw the football. I've heard a lot of people talk about his size being a concern. I don't see that being a concern in this state, in this classification. If you're a playmaker, you can make plays. That I've seen that time and time again. I think this kid's going to really make some noise early on in the schedule, and you're going to see it early because all eyes are going to be on Starkville against Oak Grove. All eyes are going to be on Starkville against West Point. They play Meridian, Louisville, Brandon. An absolutely brutal non-conference schedule for Starkville. I mean, you're looking at it, and Meridian has kind of fallen on hard times in recent years. It's still a program that is always talented. At any moment, I feel like something big could happen at Meridian. So that's a team out of that group, I would say, is the weaker team out of that group, and it's one of the most proud programs in the state of Mississippi that always has talent. That's how tough this schedule is. You get 3 teams out of the first 5 that played for a state title last year. Louisville, Brandon, West Point all played for state championships. Oak Grove won the title 2 years ago and are routinely in the mix. And then you get into the district schedule, which consists of Germantown, Clinton, Murrah, Madison Central, and Oxford. And I think that's a manageable schedule for Starkville this year. I'm very interested to see who comes out of this with the title. I think Tupelo was kind of far and away the best team last year. Now that they've moved districts, this thing's wide open. I think Clinton's got a chance to be much better. I think Germantown's getting better and better. Madison Central should be really good with Toby Collins doing a really good job over there at Madison Central. And then Oxford, who I've always said is probably the most well-coached team in the state of Mississippi with Chris Cutcliffe. I think that he and his staff are one of the best staffs in the state of Mississippi. They routinely get the best out of their team. So it's just going to be really fun. And we had a great time last week in the Cotton District for our Starkville area preview, where we talked to John Carr and we talked to Jay Hobson. They're doing some great things over there at Starkville. We also got a chance to talk to Chase Nicholson, the head coach at Starkville Academy. We talked to Brian Merkel, the new AD. I think what they've got going on, Brian Merkel is going to be a rock star over there at Starkville Academy with their athletics. I think that this could be a special year for Starkville Academy. It always seems to be. This is just, I said it last week on another show, you could circle an area of the map in the state of Mississippi and find the majority of the state championships, I feel like. I feel like if you take West Point, Starkville, Louisville, Noxubee County, these teams right here in this area within a 30, 40-mile radius are just absolutely dominating high school football in the state of Mississippi for a long time. And I don't think this year is going to be any different. I think it's going to be another special year on the way. All right, when we come back, we're going to close this thing out. We've had a great show to this point, and we're looking forward to getting another week under our belt as well next week. So when we come back, we'll close this thing out. I want you guys to stay tuned for the end of Talkin Dawgs here on SuperTalk 100.9.
A lot of land comes with a lot of work. The new Kubota MX Series has a lot to offer, including the versatility to mow, move hay bales, grade roads, and clear brush and snow. An optional spacious cab to keep you comfortable in any conditions. A front-end loader with excellent loader lift capacity and transmission options. Visit your local Kubota dealer today.
Visit H&R AgriPower, your local Kubota dealer at 841 South Frontage Road in Columbus. H&R AgriPower has the power to get you more.
At Fort County Electric Power Association, we're always trying to find ways to make life better for our member owners. From offering expert advice on how to use less power and save money, to on-bill financing for energy efficiency improvements in HVAC, to showing the benefits and practical uses of our new all-electric vehicle, we work to earn our members' trust through honesty, integrity, and service. Fort County Electric Power, improving the lives of all we touch.
Hey, this is William Wells. When you drop your vehicle off with us, you can trust us with our ASC certified technician. We'll take care of everything you need. Brakes, struts, shocks, alignments, check engine light, tune-up, tire sensor, tires, everything. Stop by any of our 3 locations in Starkville, West Point, and Columbus, and let our team give you the championship service you deserve.
Looking to get the most out of your land? Trust the experts at Good Hope Land and Timber, your full-service land and timber company with years of experience in forestry and land management. From land and timber purchasing, timber management, plantation thinning, and development harvesting, our team handles it all, safely, efficiently, and sustainably. Our experienced logging force is trained to the highest standards under the Sustainable Forestry Initiative and best management practices. Call me, Jake Moody, at 601-416-6266. Good Hope Land and Timber, locally trusted, landowner approved.
Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk on SuperTalk 100.9.
Welcome back to Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk. We're getting ready to wind things down. We've had another successful show, I feel like, here on SuperTalk 100.9. Thank you again to Jess Brantley from Alpha Insurance for supporting this show, sponsoring the show. He also sponsored our live show last week at Two Brothers. So big shout out to Jess Brantley. Again, you can go check him out over in West Point, 662-494-4142. To call over there to Jess and start saving today. We've had a great show today. We heard from Jeff Lebby wrapping up the second scrimmage of training camp. We're basically getting into game week at this point. At this point, you're starting to shift into your mode of you're getting prepared for Southern Miss. You've been installing. You've been trying to figure out what the depth chart looks like. At this point, we're midweek with a week away from the game's beginning. I think that they've shifted into game week mode at this point. You got the depth chart set for the most part. There might be a couple of battles still going on for Mississippi State, but for the most part, you're essentially preparing for the Golden Eagles of Southern Miss, and that's going to tell us a lot about this team. When that game kicks off at 11 a.m. in the blazing hot sun down in Hattiesburg, we will start to know if Jeff Lebby is really moving things in the right direction, or if we need to start talking about is there going to be another coaching change soon. And I hope that's not the case. As someone that's been around Jeff Lebby, I think he's a genuine guy. I think he's a great offensive mind. And Mississippi State desperately needs some semblance of stability. They haven't had it. Can Jeff Lebby be that guy? I hope he is. I think his offense is exciting. I think he has the right attitude. I think the players love him. I think they do things the right way. We talked about it last week, but this needs to work. And that first game is so huge, and then you move on to the next game with Arizona State. There's so many things that need to happen for Mississippi State to truly take that next step as a program. And Jeff Lebby needs to win this game. He needs to win it convincingly. He needs to show people that Mississippi State made major improvements in the offseason and that this thing is moving in the right direction. That first game is so huge. That second game is so huge. I look at this schedule, and I think so much is going to be determined by what Mississippi State does against Southern Miss and Arizona State. And if it doesn't come out of that smelling like roses, then this could be pretty rough. So hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully Jeff Lebby can really turn this thing around for Mississippi State, get some excitement built around this fan base. I know you guys are just absolutely foaming at the mouth trying to have some excitement. I mean, you guys want to love college football each and every week and not stress about it. So hopefully that happens for you. We got the interlocking logo coming back for a game this year. I'm super pumped about that. We didn't talk much about that, but it's been kind of ad nauseum at this point. I really didn't want to gush over it, but we're going to see the all-white uniforms against Tennessee this year as Mississippi State brings back the interlocking helmet in white form, and that's going to be really exciting, and I promise you the conversation about that is not going to stop until that logo is more prominently used over at Davis Wade Stadium. We'll see what happens with it, but that's going to be a really exciting time. Hopefully by that point, Mississippi State's 4-0, and it's a really great atmosphere. That would be nice. All right, guys, don't forget, you can go check this out anywhere you get podcasts. Type in Talkin Dawgs wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to this on demand. Go in there and follow the show, subscribe to the show. It'll pop up in your feed every single week automatically, and you'll be able to listen to this on demand. If not, you can listen to me live on 100.9 every single week in the Golden Triangle, or you can listen to me on the SuperTalk app live every week. However you listen, thank you. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Thank you so much for putting up with me for an hour and beyond if you do that as well. I want to tell you guys how much I appreciate you, and I hope you continue listening. All right, guys, I hope you have a great rest of the week. This has been Robbie Faulk. This has been Talkin Dawgs, and I will catch you down the road.
You've been listening to Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk.
Mississippi State with a victory here.
Listen each Wednesday at 9 a.m. on SuperTalk 100.9.
Don't you know I'm gonna make it with my friends? I promised myself I'd get by. Said I'm gonna try it with them too.
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.